connection doesn't work, all this goes out the window. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 10 of the Everything About Everything Sports Podcast.
Guys talking about sticks and balls.
So, do we just want to start off with the Tigers and how amazing they're doing?
Yeah. I went to a Tiger game. We got our asses kicked.
Oh,
10-3.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was still good though.
It's okay. It's okay.
But then and then we went to a Tiger game.
Yeah.
We ended up kicking the Red Sox ass.
Dude, that third...
14, I think it was 14-2.
Yeah, that third inning, they scored 9 runs.
9 runs, yeah.
And
inside the park home run too, we saw.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, it's still the third inning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that third inning lasted maybe about 3 innings worth, like time-wise.
Yeah.
Because of how much we were hitting.
And then the next 2 games with the Sox, they had both times they ended it with a walk-off.
2 games in a row, yeah. Javi hit a 3-run walk-off home run. And then Justin Henry Malloy hit a walk-off single.
Yeah.
In both of those games. Javi had 6 RBIs that game. He hit 2 3-run home runs.
Jesus.
Once in I want to say it was like the 3rd inning, and then again at the bottom of the 11th.
Yeah.
Because it went into extra innings that game.
Yeah, dude. Our seats, I was surprised because usually I don't do well in nosebleeds, but almost probably every single time I might sit up there.
No, yeah, like Ben, this is me you're talking with.
I know.
I get those seats all the time.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, no, yeah.
I didn't have the secret sauce, okay?
No, yeah, I try to get I'll get in because usually it's weird with Tigers games. Like if you get like a lower bowl seat, unless you sit in the outfield, like in the bleachers or like behind the bullpens or whatever, or like way down the lines in the outfield, you're looking at maybe $100 ticket.
Yeah.
Like each, and I think the ones that I was looking at for the game we went to, it was like 134 or like 128 or something.
But they also are good.
They are good. But I was like, but then I was looking down the lines, and down the lines were like $30, like 30. I think it was the same amount that I had paid. So I was like, if I'm gonna sit down there, why don't I just sit up in the second deck where you can see the whole field, see the skyline. The skyline was really cool too.
Yeah, we have a couple pictures of that up on Insta and everything.
Yeah.
It's also, is it still your wallpaper?
Yeah. Yeah, both. Oh, my home and lock screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like kind of got like dark clouds rolling into in the front.
Yeah.
It kind of fades to black at the top.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of sad that Schoolable wasn't pitching when we went, but what's the dude's name?
Jackson Jobe.
Jackson Jobe did a fantastic job.
You know? Oh yeah, he was great. I think he pitched 6.5, or pitched into the 7th or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think he only gave up 1 run, or he might have been pitching a shutout up until then when he got pulled. But he had thrown, I can't remember how many pitches he threw, but I think he hit like his pitch limit. And they took him out, or he let in like a run, and it was like kind of like, okay, if you let in a run, we'll pull you because we want to save your arm, like we're already winning.
Yeah,
I can't remember what the score was at that time.
At that time, it was 13-1.
So yeah, 13,
and they just scored.
Yeah, so there was no point in keeping you in longer than we would want you to be in there. So
it's okay. Hopefully, when I go for Father's Day, Scooble will be pitching.
Yeah, you just have to catch him in the rotation. So you just have to
Like, it wasn't a bad game whatsoever. I just would like to see Scooble pitch, just not on TV. I would like to see it in person.
We saw Javier Baez play center field. Javier Baez play center field.
Dude, the turnaround he has had this year has been insane.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I think he's batting like a .319 right now.
Yeah, dude.
That's nuts. Like, if you would have told me that this time last year, Javi Baez would be leading the league in, I think he's leading the league in OPS and batting average.
If you told me that, Jonathan, I would go get you a crack pipe so you could smoke crack out of it.
Might as well.
That was the world we were living in. And now we're in the world where he is great at center field.
We were living in the world where Javi Baez was the worst baseball player, not just at the moment in the MLB, one of the worst baseball players of all time. He was putting up that terrible of a season,
Yeah, it was
and
bad.
now he's one of the best in the American League.
Yeah, All-Star.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited to see because I don't remember, probably not even in our lifetime, where the Tigers, and Bears. Oh my, where the Tigers had this ridiculous of a record.
No, yeah, I had seen. So when May started, I had seen the stat. It was through the month of May. It's up until May 1st or whenever our first game was in May.
Yeah,
It was the best Tigers record in franchise history.
yeah,
So that means that at that point in the month of April or whenever our season started until May 1st or whatever our first game was in May, we were at that point watching the best Tigers team through that period of the season of all time.
I still think we are in the midst of that. I
I-
really do.
I really think that this team can do it.
Yeah,
And I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to say
I'm
it
not
either
going to say it. And
because we said it for the fucking Lions.
yeah, and it's still far too early.
Yes.
We haven't even hit the All-Star break yet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say anything.
You know that we know what we're saying,
Yeah.
but we're not going to say it.
And we have players that are hurt.
Yeah, that is true.
We have Jake Rogers who's hurt. Not Kerry Carpenter. Parker Meadows who's hurt. Winslow Perez.
Are
Matt
they
Veerle.
are they just totally out, or are they coming back at some point?
No, yeah, they're all due to come back. I
Okay.
can't remember the specifics of their injuries, but they're all injuries that they will come back from
Okay.
at some point this year.
All right, that's good to know. Yeah, dude. I was talking to my grandma about it because I was like, you would remember, when they won it all. Did they have this good of a record? She's like, yeah, they had, and I looked it up. She was not accurate.
Oh no, no, yeah, I think the Tigers went in that playoff as a wild card
Yeah.
or something. I don't even know if wild cards were around back then, but yeah, they weren't the best team in the American League
No.
when they won the World Series that year. When all the years we've gone to the World Series in 06 and 2012, we weren't the best team in the American League then
Yeah.
either. I remember in 2012 we had there were some stacked teams in the American League. So when it came down to ALCS and the NLCS to go to the World Series, the narrative coming out of that playoff was kind of whoever wins the American League Championship is probably going to win the World Series.
Yeah.
And that ALCS was between us and the Yankees. And that Yankees team was loaded.
Yeah.
Absolutely stacked to the gills. And when we swept them
Yeah.
in the ALCS. So then we went to play the Giants, who had beaten the Cardinals, Albert Pujols and the Cardinals. And the narrative going into that World Series was, oh, this is the Tigers series to lose.
Yeah.
And we did.
Yeah.
We got swept by the Giants.
Yeah.
Which,
But I really did enjoy going down there. The sense of you're coming into our house and we're just gonna take you.
oh yeah, I think the Tigers have the best home record in the MLB.
Yeah. It's verging on that point. I'm sure it is.
Oh yeah.
Who's the best record in baseball right now? Is it
Us.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know with the NL or whatever.
No. Yeah.
Is it even close or?
I think we're up by 2.5 games.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually have to
They're
check
playing
that.
right now in Toronto.
In
out of all,
Toronto, yeah.
out of all places. And then I told my grandma, I was like, I was in there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, whenever I see a ball hit in the outfield or whatever, I'm like, we sat right
There. And she's like, how much were tickets? And I go, I don't remember. Like 24?
No, fuck no.
More?
Yeah.
Like
I think,
40?
No, I think they were $60 a piece.
Oh.
But it was 80. I think it was 84 Canadian. So whatever the translation of that is.
Okay. Either way, not that bad.
No.
You know, that's crazy that I spent more to go to a Toronto Blue Jays game than I did the Tigers.
I know some teams will upcharge out of town fans.
Oh, okay.
And we were coming out of the country too,
Yeah,
so they might have tried to sting us.
a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The Tigers are currently 30-15.
Oh,
Yeah, and the next closest team is the Dodgers, 29-16, and
okay.
so they're a game behind us.
Damn.
The next American League team is fifth, the Yankees, 26-18.
Yeah. Tiger score.
So we're currently 3.5 games ahead of the American League.
And right now it is the top of the fifth, and we are up 1-0.
Oof, who's on the mound?
I don't know. I literally just searched up score.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can check.
It's
game day.
This is like we always say it. Like, which team is really going to be bad this year? Because at least one Detroit team has to fall. Because we live in the world where not all big four teams can survive in Detroit. Or that's the wrong wording. One has to be the sacrificial lamb. One has to have a subpar record, you know?
Right.
So who do we think it's going to be? Because honestly, this is probably going to hurt you more than it hurts me. I do hope it's the Red Wings.
What do you mean?
Like the one team that has to fail for everybody else to succeed. Either the Pistons or Red Wings for me would be my vote.
Well, for the longest time in Detroit, it was always two teams that blew and two teams that were really good. Like before, it was the Tigers and the Red Wings, and then the Pistons and the Lions were irrelevant.
Yeah.
And then in like the late '90s, it was the Pistons and the Lions, and and then the Red Wings were really good too, but the Lions were like, we made the playoffs a couple of years, but the Pistons were really good and the Tigers were garbage.
Yeah.
And what was I saying? Fuck.
Two teams were shitty.
Oh, right, yeah. I kind of lost my train of thought there, Ben. I apologize.
I fucking hate you.
Ooh.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. Yeah, like the Red Wings were shut up. The Red Wings were really good in early 2000s too. Right, it was the Red Wings and the Tigers.
Yeah.
And the Pistons. I mean, well, the Pistons they won a championship and went to another one. So it like in the earlier days, it kind of was three, but like in the '80s, you had the Dead Wings.
Yeah.
You had they were god awful teams, and you had the Pistons and the Tigers.
Yeah.
And then the Red Wings and the Lions were trash.
Yes.
So it kind of fluctuates where it's like two teams or three teams, but really only two, and then one is so-so, and then one is garbage.
Yeah.
So as of right now, it's like all of our teams though aren't bad.
Yeah.
Like there's no one team that sucks. Like you have the Lions and the Tigers right now that are like really really good.
Yeah.
And then you have the Pistons that are
which made it to the playoffs.
the Pistons who made it to the playoffs, and then the Red Wings who were like struggling to get out of bed.
Yeah. But I'm wondering how far into the future where we live where all four are just like pretty good. Because I do think we're pretty close to that.
Yeah. And going back to what we were talking about with the Red Wings, I think a couple podcasts ago, it's shit or good off the pot for Steve Yzerman. So if he doesn't make a couple pretty good moves, we could end up seeing some change. Because we already saw some change when we hired, Tom McClellan.
Yeah.
And we saw like that jump the team had. We almost made the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
for the longest, he was like, it was like 7-0 when he first got there.
2 separate 7-game win streaks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think one of those 7-game win streaks we had, I think it was the game before it started and the game after we went to overtime but lost. So it was like a 9-game point streak.
Okay.
But it was like a 7-game straight out win streak. But I mean, that's really the only team that's like the one squeaky wheel on the grocery car right now.
Yeah, right now.
All four of them are fine. We're going. Pistons are right there. We can be a contender in the East,
which was
Tigers,
unexpected
obviously.
compared to last year.
It's one of the greatest turnarounds in NBA history.
Yes,
Being
because
one of the worst teams in NBA history to being this sleeper pick in the East and almost beating a top ranked team.
Yeah, and they basically shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, it was our own fault. Like
Yeah,
if we would have just avoided ourselves and we wouldn't have had a couple of key injuries, then we
yeah.
would have just played better, more consistent.
At least we know we could win in the playoffs. It wasn't
Oh,
like
yeah.
we just got swept. Like we brought it all the way to what, game 7 or game 6?
I think it was game 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I cannot wait for the Lions season to start. We're about, as of this moment, either 111 days out, right around. Has the
Something like
UFL
that.
even started yet?
Yeah. UFL started. Because I was watching when I was at work, there was a TV that had Michigan Panthers game on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll watch a game or two. I don't know. The UFL is really weird to watch.
The game, the first Tiger game that I went to, the Michigan Panthers were playing downtown that afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Tigers game started at 6:10 or 6:40, and Michigan Panthers I think were playing at 12 or 12:30.
I gotta talk to producer Mike and see if he's been to a game yet.
Got to get those tickets.
No, I don't really care about that. But I did.
No, I'm saying like we should just go to a game this year.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're probably not expensive either.
No, yeah.
like $20, 30, maybe more.
something like that. I think Mike was saying that like when he got them because he got season tickets,
Yeah.
it was like it evened out to like $11 a ticket
Oh,
for all the games.
Oh,
And he had,
yeah.
I think three or
yeah,
four. So I'm sure it can't be more. Yeah, like $20, $25.
yeah. We had a good time.
Oh yeah, it was cool.
It it was nice being back in the den, as people would say. The
The
Lions.
Den.
The den.
Yeah.
I do that. Well, we talked about it on the podcast too. Like that memory of Jake Bates making 260 plus yarders in the
260s.
in the same game was insane because everybody said it. Sign that man.
So yeah, sign that man. And there were more NFL teams that were going. What you call it?
After
They were
him.
going after him.
He
yeah.
was in Houston too, or he's from Houston.
Yeah.
Like a feel good story. I like feel good stories. That is
Oh, yeah.
probably a great feel good story.
But I think he had like San Francisco, Baltimore, like a couple like
Yeah.
pretty like other contending teams, and he ended up coming here.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
was like, please don't go to fucking San Francisco. I was like, please
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Or Baltimore, out of all places.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
Tucker hit that, what was it, 60? It was a couple years ago when we should have won.
oh yeah, he had fuck, who was our kicker? Whoever our kicker was, I think he tied the NFL record with his kick,
Yeah.
and then Justin Tucker, the next drive, went out and broke the NFL record.
Yeah.
But then now I think Jake Bates, or was that Jake Bates?
No, I don't know.
No, I think it was Jake Bates.
I just know Tucker hit like a 64 or something and beat us by the 1 point or whatever.
I think it was Jake Bates. I think Jake Bates went out and kicked one for the Lions, broke the NFL record by like 1 yard, and then Tucker went out and broke it by 1 yard like immediately after that.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's like
It was for kickers, it was great to
Yeah.
see.
and I think the NFL record before that was held by Matt Prater, former Lion.
Okay. Yeah. I always knew that the Lions always had a boot. You know?
Oh yeah, for the longest time he had Jason Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just absolute leg on the guy.
Yeah. For some reason, that was like the glaring difference with like a Detroit team. They're like, holy shit, we can kick.
Yeah,
Which now in the NFL, you need to be skilled to be a kicker.
you do.
So
Yeah.
it is kind of nice to be, recognized by that because Jake Bates is one of the better kickers in the NFL. And then you have people like Harrison Butker, who's telling his wife to get back in the kitchen and make him a sandwich.
Yeah. Or Jake Moody.
Jake Moody, I feel so bad
Yeah,
because
dude.
he's a Michigan guy.
He's a
I love
Michigan
him.
guy, but he missed like 9 kicks last
And now
year.
he's almost on his way out.
Yeah.
And what is it?
But he was electric in Michigan.
Yeah.
He was a guarantee.
Yeah.
But then now it's I don't know what
And
the
now-
hell it is.
And now Justin Tucker is released now too.
yeah, Justin Tucker is
for-
shit canned.
Quote unquote football reasons.
Football.
I don't know if we reported that, but it's way too late in the news It's been broken like weeks ago.
He gone.
He go
Yeah, it's
for football reasons.
football reasons. Even though the guy can still blast a 65-yard field goal.
Yeah, but he missed like
What?
4 or 5 of them last year in key moments.
Oh yeah, he missed like 2 in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I mean, it is what it is. Antonio Brown actually got arrested or detained today.
Did he really? God damn it!
I
What
saw
the hell, man?
I saw it on ESPN. Here, I'll pull it up.
What an idiot!
Antonio Brown briefly detained after altercation in which gunshots were fired outside celebrity boxing event in Miami.
When you said "beat" for a second, I turned my head so fast. I was like, Antonio Brown beat what?
What?
He did what?
What? No, but I mean, I'm really excited, especially for the rookies because, dude, Isaac Tesla, rookie minicamp looked electric.
Yeah.
That I didn't realize how tall he was. He's a big guy. He's 6'4", so he's you.
Yep.
You tall motherfucker. Dude, that was the thing at the game, at the Tigers game. Like, I would see people walk by, and you unintentionally do it in your brain. You're like, oh, that person's kind of short. I turned to the right, saw a guy, and I was like, he makes Jonathan look short.
No, yeah, I saw the same dude you were looking at, and I was like, even I said in my head too, I was like, God damn. I was like, when we were walking around, like when I was at the Tiger game, the first one, I was walking around and I could see people's heads like in the crowd walk ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn. I was like, okay. And then,
Weird flex, but okay.
Weird flex, but okay. But then when we were at the game and I saw that dude, I was like, all right, whoever's sitting behind him is fucked.
And I'm going to stroke my ego, dude. It's been a long time since I've been downtown with short sleeves on.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The amount of people that like looked at my tattoos and were like, "Holy shit!"
Oh, yeah. Like, well, just the weather too.
Yeah,
Like it seemed like every time I would go downtown,
it was shitty.
it was it was either shitty weather. You have to be in like coats and long pants because it was raining, or I would go for a Red Wing game and it'd be in the winter. And I would have to wear that type of shit.
Yeah, but the amount of people and it happened yesterday. I went to McDonald's late at night because
McDonald's.
I left the mall.
Yeah,
Because
stepping on my
oh,
cord.
my fault.
Oh, sorry.
I was with the boys at your work actually, after hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm like, you know what? By the way, listen to Morgan Wallen's new album.
I did. Bangers. There's a couple on there I don't really care for.
That's the thing. I was going to say, what's the album with Last Night? Because I still think that's the best album he has had. Because it had the 87 Braves in it. That had
98 Braves.
98. Sorry, sorry. I'm not good with dates. Whatever. Please search it up.
Yeah.
But I will say, what I want with Tate McRae.
One thing at a time.
Yeah, one thing at a time. I think
that's his last one, 2023.
Yeah.
I thought Last Night was older than that.
Oh.
Oh no, I was thinking of this album cover, If You Know Me in 2018, my bad.
Yeah. I'm the Problem, or like the album I'm the Problem has some really good songs. I will say you're going to be listening to it for a while. It is 37 songs.
Yeah, that's true. My favorite, they're probably my 3 favorites so far. I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but which one is it? Number 3 and number 7.
Okay.
That one's good. Eric Church. What I Want is okay. I can tell that one's gonna be played in bars for the next 3 years.
Yeah. After you're done reading off of that, let me see it because I have a couple that I do like.
Superman's good.
That's one of my favorites of the album.
That one might be my favorite in the whole album. And then
the whole time I was listening to it, I was like, "Damn, Morgan, who hurt you?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No."
I think, I got better. The second track. That one's pretty good.
Okay. I like 20 Cigarettes. I
I
like
don't know
that.
if I listened to that one
You
yet.
probably haven't. Superman is one of the best, probably the best one on the album.
Yeah.
I do like What I Want. Miami, I think, will be played in a lot of bars as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Crazy Eyes was a good. He has a lot of good ones. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Smile. I'm just
Nah.
not.
No, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one. I wasn't a fan of. Hold on, here, see, just. There were a couple that I listened to that I wasn't really a fan of.
Love Somebody's going to be on at the bars. It already has been because
Yeah.
he released it a while ago.
I'm a little crazy. Really wasn't that crazy about that one.
Really?
Nope, really wasn't that.
That's more of like a very vibe-ish song.
Yeah. The Dealer with Ernest. I was really excited for that one when I saw that one on there.
It's alright.
Not a big fan of it. Yeah, it's all right.
We might have some hot takes on this, but who knows?
I haven't heard the Post Malone one yet. The Hardy one. Not a big fan of that one either.
Yeah. I've heard the
Um,
Post Malone one. It's pretty decent.
Oh, okay. I think I haven't heard from. I think Jack and Jill Down.
They're all pretty decent, you know. It's not like anything stood out like Superman or like
yeah.
Love Somebody or
Instantly favorited that or added one to my playlist after I heard that song. I was like, this
Yeah.
one's a banger.
I do like Just in Case. That is a very good song. Skull Chevy and Browning is a really good song.
I don't know if I've heard that one. Oh, I think what I did was I took like the first like handful of tracks, listened to those,
Yeah.
and then I took like the middle, and I listened to like the Ernest, the Hardy,
Yeah.
the Eric Church one. Like I listened to
Yeah.
that group of songs.
Skull Chevy and Browning is a really good one. I will say that.
I'll have to listen to that one then.
Yeah.
And you said Miami was the other one you think is going to be played in
The
bars?
yeah, the only reason is because I was going downtown Allen Park with my windows down, as one does late at night.
Indeed.
And I was playing that song on that little strip, you know.
Yeah.
It's more of a vibe, like if you listen to it, you know what I'm saying.
TN? What the hell is TN?
Tennessee. It's
Oh.
supposed to be
Oh.
for Tennessee.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one too, I will say. Like he has had, though there are some really good songs in there, but all the others after it's either very good or very meh for me.
Yeah. No, yeah. There's not like any like bad one on there. But
No,
there's
it's
just,
not
like,
bad. It's just okay.
easily skippable ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're like after the heaters.
Yeah.
He had some heaters in there. You're like, oh my god, and then it goes into like one of the okay ones. And you're like, oh, all right.
You're like, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. But I will say with the 98, 87 Braves? 98?
98.
Yeah, 98, sorry. I will say like that probably was his best album ever. To this day for me.
With the last one that came last night.
Yeah, I think so.
What else was on that one? Oh fuck. Now I'm gonna have to see what the hell was on that one.
I might be wrong about the album, who knows.
Man Made a Bar.
Yes.
With Eric Church.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good one.
We are talking about the same album, okay. I will think that's probably one of the best country albums of all time. For me.
F-150-50 Cowgirls with Ernest.
Yes.
That was Riley Green's walk-up song last year for the
Yeah.
Tigers. Now his walk-up song is Be or Don't.
That's the other thing. We didn't talk about the walk-up songs that
Walk-up songs were
heater.
for the Tigers.
Heat, dude.
Every single one of them was a banger.
Yeah. And then
What was it? Carrie Carpenter's was like a. It was like a. I forget the name,
Oh,
like what the
no.
word is, but it was like it was obviously about Jesus,
yeah.
and I was like Carrie Carpenter's based.
Yeah.
I was like Carrie Carpenter. I just started liking Carrie Carpenter a lot more after
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Like, and then it was probably like 5th, 6th inning. We went down, you know,
Oh yeah, we went to
and this guy, you know who I'm talking about. You'll know as soon as I say it. This guy goes, you know, Land Shark at Michigan State. I go, to be honest with you,
I was like, what?
I'm like, He was obviously fucked up.
Oh
a little
my God,
bit.
yeah.
But I go, to be
Both of
honest,
those dudes were.
I go, to be honest, he's like, are you a Michigan State fan? I go, try again, buddy.
Yeah, I just shook my head. I go, no.
He goes, don't tell me you're a Ohio State fan. I go, look at me, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah. That's what
He's
I
like,
said. I was like, nope.
he's like, Big Blue? I'm like, fuck yeah. And he goes, you know, Landshark in East Lansing? I go,
nope.
couldn't say I heard of it. No.
No.
I don't usually go to East Lansing.
Should have said, what the hell do I want to go there for?
He goes, I go, Landshark. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, well, he was
It
like,
meant nothing to me.
no, yeah.
I'm sure it means, like, if you're a Michigan State person, obviously, and I do want to go to Michigan State just to see, like, what the party situation is.
You can go right ahead.
You're coming with me. I'm making you come. And we'll wear our...
Pause. Phrase it.
That's what she said. And we're going to wear Michigan shit in there, too.
Oh, yeah, that's why. I remember me and my dad went to a Lansing Lugnuts game
Yeah.
years ago. When I was, like, maybe 12.
Yeah.
We both wore Michigan shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to we took a tour of the Capitol, a state capitol.
Yeah.
And we wore Michigan stuff.
Yeah. And he goes, me and 5 of my buddies decided to make Landshark. And he's like, I'm the only Michigan fan out of them.
Yeah.
I take all the Michigan State people's money. I fucking love my job.
And you said they spent $4 million last year.
1.5 on liquor alone.
Yeah, just on liquor alone. So the other fucking, I think he said 4. So that might have been like what they brought in from like the college kids was $4 million.
More easily.
No, I'm saying like what, or like maybe what they spent on like.
Oh yeah,
on like the beers.
That's probably what they spent.
But like 1.5 just on liquor alone.
Yeah.
And it's, I'm like,
I was talking to
Jesus
Mitchell
Christ.
about it. I'm like, that makes sense though.
No, yeah, that definitely does. I mean,
Especially in a college town, you
Yeah.
know.
and Michigan State basketball this past season.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I was like, to be honest with you, I don't really care.
no, if you wouldn't have said that, I would have completely forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought it was funny.
Honestly.
You know, because like the shit that happens to us randomly,
Oh yeah.
that he's like, you ever been to Landshark? I'm like, no.
Did we ever talk about the dude in Lululemon from Toronto?
No, we didn't. And
Oh.
I don't think we can talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know if we can, but that,
You know what we can talk about, dude? Is the guy in Windsor.
Oh.
We never talked about that motherfucker.
Oh my God. He looked like Elmer Fudd if he got a spray tan.
Oh my god, what? Oh no, he looks like something.
Oh, no,
from a
He
cartoon.
looks like Gilbert Gottfried if he got a spray tan. That's
Cigarettes and crack.
yeah, that's exactly who that dude was. Oh my God.
Fire around 9.
Yeah.
All right,
No, well, 9 it'll probably still be light outside.
that's
Like,
fine.
Maybe like, yeah.
That's fine, because both Mitchell and Jeremy are at work, I believe.
Yeah, I think Jeremy works until 9 today.
So you guys would be here earlier.
Yeah.
That was Adam.
Oh, okay. You didn't text me, that bastard.
Yeah, he called me.
Oh, yeah, you did. I wasn't paying attention to his text.
Shut up. You didn't want to talk about it.
I'm going to have to talk about it with Adam. I don't think Adam knows yet. I digress.
Yeah,
The
we
dude
digress.
The dude in Windsor.
The dude in Windsor. So it was our first time in Windsor with the boys.
Yeah, it was me, you, and Adam.
Yes.
Yeah. This was
The first time.
no, this is 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Probably 3.
I think it was 3 years.
I was 19.
Yeah, well,
I like almost just turned 19 because we went during like winter break. For me, because
because you could drink and yeah.
Yeah.
So it was probably 3.5 at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Right around. Who got the hotel?
I think Adam did.
Adam's mom did, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was my first time in Canada.
That was my first time in Canada.
Really?
Too. Yeah.
Okay. Um, we're not really talking all that much about sports today. That's fine.
Yeah.
It'll be littered back in.
We talked about the Tigers, the NBA playoffs have been going on.
Oh yeah.
You want to? We can get to that after this story.
Yeah, that's fine. So I don't know if it was Adam's first time in Canada. Either
I'm
way,
not sure.
that's not really important. We get there. And I know we talked about this snippet. If you guys been around me, and I sometimes have a weak bladder. It's not a
sometimes.
It's not a secret. I have a weak bladder most of the time. It all depends on what I've been drinking that day.
Yeah.
So, I use Adam's bathroom before we leave, as one does for a road trip.
Yeah. Hey, we gotta use the bathroom. Use it now, because I'm not fucking turning around.
Yeah, dude. So we get there, and I'm like, oh, it was like 4:30 probably, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly what. It was more afternoon, night-ish.
It was yeah. We crossed the border at night because we went to McDonald's and when it was dark outside.
Okay.
So we might have like started crossing the border when it was still a little bit light outside.
Yeah. So time is a factor, but either way, it was packed on the bridge. Because we took the bridge because Jonathan's a pussy.
Well, Jesus Christ! You're gonna drive through downtown to get to the tunnel, and I'm gonna end up shitting my pants, or you're gonna go across the bridge. What the hell do you want? You would end up pissing yourself, and I would end up shitting myself.
Okay, so we get out of the bridge, and I'm like, going through the border didn't take long.
No.
Or, like, security didn't take long to get to the bridge. Or whatever.
No, the security is on the other side of the bridge.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, this ain't going to take that long. Was probably on the bridge for maybe 10 minutes. I was like, all right, chilling.
Yeah.
We got off the bridge.
Yeah, when we got off the bridge and we were on Canadian soil, it was like, what was it? It was
easily like 3,000 cars.
Yeah. Well, it was like 2 hours and 15 minutes or something like that.
Yes.
It was horrible.
And I had, as every person does, especially every man, do I piss in the bottle?
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't really have an empty bottle. So I poured water out the car.
Yeah.
That's how close I was to pissing myself. And the thing was, Adam was like, we kept itching closer. And Adam was like, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now.
Which, I remember when you poured the water out of the car, I was like, why didn't you just fucking drink it?
I had to piss.
But it takes a minute for it to go through your system. So if you piss, then you won't have to piss again until maybe we get to the hotel.
All right,
and
whatever.
Plus you pouring the water outside of the car, someone could be like, yo, that car just poured something out of the car. Make sure you stop them.
Okay. I wasn't thinking straight. When you have to pee that bad, you're not thinking straight, Jonathan.
No, yeah.
Dude, Adam kept on saying, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. Because we're right up on the gate. And
we
then
were like 100 yards away from the border.
And then we get to the gate, and I'm like, we got to go. I'm about to do it. He's like, we're at the gate. Do not do it.
Yeah, no, yeah. Do not, whatever you do.
I remember asking the Border Patrol, I go, where's the nearest bathroom? They're like, there is a McDonald's probably 200 feet down that way. I go, thank you.
Floor it.
Floor it.
Yeah.
We get through. I release the Kraken. Dude, that's how this stream was fat, okay? This is a little bit graphic, but it was like pouring all this water with the cap off. That's how much came out of my body. And like once every couple months, you'll have that one piss that's just super satisfying. And you're just like,
oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh, yes.
It happens like once a week for me, where I'm like, well, not like a super satisfying piss, but it's like a piss where I'm like, it'll be like I'm watching a hockey game, like, because the playoffs are on right now, and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go piss at the next whistle. And the next whistle will be like 2 minutes away. And I'm like, oh shit. And I'm standing there. I'm like, was switching from side to side and shit like that.
Trying to get
And
comfortable.
and I'll hear that whistle, and I'll sprint to the bathroom. And then, like, you were right, too. It's like, you don't really think straight when you're going, like, when you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
That bad. There could have been, like, my mom could have painted the house. And I could have walked right into the bathroom and not even have noticed.
Yes. And I remember I definitely remember the look on Adam's face. I don't necessarily recall the look on your face. The face of you looking back, seeing the desperation in my eyes.
Oh, my God. I was in tears. You're like, yo, I gotta go.
The amount of defeat I had because I didn't bring a spare change of clothes.
You looked helpless. You were like, you had this look on your face like, what do I do? And I was like, I couldn't help myself. I just started fucking crying, laughing.
All right, so we get to McDonald's. Great time at McDonald's. We get to
Triple thick shakes.
Yes.
They have triple thick shakes. Here. Because when I was driving home from North with Josh, we stopped at a BP that was McDonald's. And when I was driving out, it said on the board, it flashed triple thick shakes. And I almost U-turned that bitch so fast. I was like, triple thick shakes! And he was like, what? What are you talking? And I was like, they have them here. I was like, I thought it was a Canada only thing. And he was like, oh, okay.
He doesn't get it because he doesn't understand. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but either way, we get to the hotel. Fantastic view.
Yeah, the view was nuts.
And then I remember going to the LCBO.
Which we thought was like a straight up liquor store, like a bodega. Straight liquor.
Straight liquor.
Liquor and mixers. That's it.
Yeah. So we get these shots. We've talked a little bit about this, so I'll skip forward. Jonathan got drunk before we got to the bar.
Yeah, I was smashed. yeah.
And we didn't really have all that much. I still left that watermelon, or that Warhead vodka that I bought.
Yeah.
I left it in the room.
I think what I had was I had like a little. It was like like one of the shooters of Pink Whitney.
Yeah.
Because I think like a 4-pack of those, like a 6-pack of those, little shooters.
Yep.
I had like, it was maybe twice the size of a shooter, of like this blue Smirnoff liqueur.
Yep.
And then Adam and I both got
pre-made shots.
4-packs of pre-made shots.
Yeah, which was Sex on the Beach and something else.
Yeah, I think Adam's was Sex on the Beach. Mine had Irish cream in it. One of them had Irish cream in it.
Yeah.
And then the other one I think was something. I think it was like a margarita something.
Yeah, either way, Jonathan.
I had 2 of mine. I think one of each of mine. And then I tried one of Adam's because we both got one of the same flavor and we both got a different one.
Yeah, I tried all of it too.
So I tried and I had like I think I might have like a couple of shooters. That thing of alcohol, which was like, I think it might have been like Everclear.
Oh.
I think that's what it was. I think it was Everclear. And then like
you took
3 or 4 shots.
You took a swig of mine too because of the water. It was blue Warhead vodka.
Yeah.
It was pretty decent, but
it was good.
You needed like Sprite with it.
Yeah.
To cut it.
But I was out for the count.
Yeah. So this is other funny part. We go one of my favorite bars in Windsor to this day. I do want to go back just to go to that bar.
Loose Goose.
And me and Adam are talking to the waitress. I think that was Adam's like first margarita.
Yeah, I got a drink. I think I got a spiked Arnold Palmer.
Yeah, something like that. And I got a beer. I got a Canadian beer. And it was weird because I was 19 and it was weird going into places and legally drinking.
Yeah. Well, Adam and I were both 20.
Well, yeah.
So it was like it was weird for us too because we couldn't go into any place in the US.
Yeah.
But
so we were all giggling like little fucking teenage girls.
Yeah, like when I ordered, she was like, "All right, what are you having?" I was like, "All right, I have a spiked Arnold Palmer." She was like, "All right, cool." And I just looked over at Adam and I looked across the table at you and I was like,
"This is nice.
Yeah, like, this is nice. Like, never had that happen before."
So we went in the winter.
Big mistake
because we were walking everywhere. And the waitress comes to our table and she's talking to us. And I don't know if you remember the conversation. Obviously, you know.
No, I do. I remember I was like, I tuned in a little bit. Like when she first came over,
you were zoned out.
But then I went on my phone, and then that's what made me zone out. And I took a drink of my drink, And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was
So
like, I'm fucking gone.
she's talking to us, and she goes, "Well, you guys are walking everywhere," and she looks outside. And she's like, "That's gonna suck." Me and Adam look outside. And we're like, "Fuck, that's gonna suck." I'm not joking. 5 minutes later, she's still having a conversation with us.
It's snowing?
Jonathan goes, looks outside, and he goes, "Guys, it's snowing." Yes, Jonathan, it is snowing outside. Of course it's snowing. It's the middle of winter, and not only was it snowing, it was blizzarding.
Yeah, no, it was coming down.
So we go to Caesars. We walk to Caesars.
No, I think so. Hold on, just to follow up on that, I think after I had said it's snowing,
She looked at
she looked and she like smiled and she was like, "I'll get you guys a couple of waters."
Well, the thing is, when you said that, me and Adam look at each other, look at you, look at her. She's trying not to laugh.
She's trying not to laugh in my face. Yeah,
She goes,
"I'll get you guys a few
I'll bring
waters."
some waters.
Yeah, I'll bring some water. And then you guys just started fucking crying, laughing, and I'm like, "No, but look at how hard it's snowing outside." And you guys are like, "We know, we know."
Jonathan, she had this conversation with us 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago.
So we walk to Caesars, and I buy you guys shots. It was $21 for 3 shots.
Outrageous.
I was like, fuck.
Outrageous.
Because I forgot what I did. I said that I would buy you guys around, so I bought you guys around or whatever.
Yeah, I think you got us spiced rum shots.
Yeah, because
Why the fuck? In hindsight,
the whiskey was $10 a shot.
Well, yeah, but normally you would take a shot of like tequila or like.
Well,
vodka.
I you know what I did? I asked Adam, "What do you want?" And he said rum.
Oh.
And the guy goes, "Okay."
Yeah, he was like, "Shots of rum." You sure?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, and he goes, "That'll be $21."
I go, "Oh."
And I was like, Jesus! Like I had it in my hand, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Keep in mind,
and I like put it down. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Keep in mind, it's Canadian, but I'm like, damn.
Yeah, that is true. I actually didn't even think about that.
I didn't think about it until now, to be honest with you.
No, yeah, no. Did
But do you remember the club that we went to? The name of the club?
No, I don't.
I
remember what it looks like. I can picture what it is.
This is where the fun part begins.
You fucked it up.
What?
This is where the fun begins.
Oh, sorry. Whatever.
I thought that's what you were gonna say.
No.
Like, this is where the fun part begins. No.
Does it have the same ring to
Not
it?
quite. Yeah, no, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
All right. Whatever.
This is where the fun begins.
Yes. We're in there. Keep in mind, we still are terrible with talking with women sometimes. But at that point, we were god-awful.
And in the state of us.
Yes.
Yeah, that
doesn't help.
We were probably like, yo, like, I'm throwing out my best lines. Like, why the fuck aren't these... And we're walking out, it's like, yo, how are you doing? It's like...
Good day, have you?
Good day, have you?
So, we get in there.
Have a one.
We get in there, and, you know, it's cool, it's whatever. Kochek lady, hot as hell. Because they had Kocheks. That was why we left.
Remember that.
That's why we left Caesars, because we were.
Oh, yeah.
We were gonna go into the. I forget what it's called.
It would start with an M.
Yeah, something like that. But they were like, "Yo, you gotta take off your coats," and we're like, "All right, where's the coat check?" And they're like, "Well, we usually do have a coat check, but they're not here right now. They're off for the week, so you guys had to go figure out what to do with your coats." I go, "We walked,
right? Yeah, well,
and it's blizzarding outside,
and our hotel was like
a good way.
It was like maybe a good like 6 or 7 blocks from Caesars.
Yeah." So we're like, all right, let's go find this place. So we find the place, we get in, you know, I dance with a girl, Adam fucking disappears.
Yeah, we couldn't find Adam for like a good like half hour, 45 minutes.
And like we're ordering drinks or whatever because it was like $1 a drink because they were it was early.
Yeah.
So they were like $1 a piece or whatever.
Right.
And they were like pretty strong. They were pretty good. I do remember that.
Yeah.
But so we're dancing, we're going around, and all of a sudden we see Sigmund Freud.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember. Well, to piggyback on that, I had to use cash in Canada.
Yeah.
Because my card was like, we don't know where the hell you are.
Yeah.
And my card, I was like, but I'm in Canada. And then, like, we were in the club and shit like that, so I couldn't call right away.
The ATM was, like, upstairs, and you had to get money out of the ATM because everything was cash in there, too.
No, yeah.
They wouldn't take cards. They would only take cash. So it kind of worked out for you.
It did work out for me, but at the same time, like, it was like when we were at Caesars.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to take money out of the ATM.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It was like, no, we don't know, like,
where you are.
Like, yeah, it gave me, like, a fraud alert thing. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then we went to the club.
Yeah.
And I had to, I mean, but yeah, it ended up working, though.
So we get in, we're dancing or whether we're going around the dance floor just chilling. And I don't know who saw him first. It doesn't really matter.
But I think we were, like, standing there, and he just kind of just flew past us.
Yeah. And we're like, you know when you see somebody, you're like, what the fuck was that?
No words were said. You're just like, you know we all saw it.
Yeah.
You're like, holy shit.
We're like, yo.
Yeah, what the hell?
So, dancing, whatever. Having a good...
Gottfried's here?
Dancing, whatever. And then we see this guy pulling out the most audacious dance moves.
Dude, the wildest dance moves I've ever seen.
Screwing the light bulb. Screwing the light bulb.
Like, almost like a nene, but he's
not
screwing
a
in a light bulb. No, well, like the same, like, body movement.
Yeah.
But he's got his hand up in the air, and it's like he's screwing in a fucking light bulb.
He's just... Dude, the girls loved him.
No, yeah.
He was the reason why the night was fantastic.
No, yeah, because everywhere, like, if you look around, you would just see this guy just...
Electric.
He had to have been on something.
All right. This guy had a red shirt on, blue jeans, and some weird shoes.
Yeah.
He was bald.
Right, yeah. And we were there and we went to the coat check thing.
Yes.
And I just had a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
With the t-shirt on and the pants, I was sweating buckets.
Yes, you were sweating in there.
This dude didn't have a bead of sweat out of him whatsoever.
No. His shirt was drenched, but his forehead was dry. His face his head was complete.
Yeah, I think
everything else, like, it looked like he'd been running.
I think I had said that. I was like, yo, how is this guy not sweating?
Yeah.
And you're like, no, he is. His shirt's just completely drenched.
It
all looks like one color.
Yeah. His shirt completely drenched, but his face, I sweat on my face.
He was bald. So I was like, you should see this guy with pools of water on his head. Nope.
Completely squeaky clean.
Completely, yeah.
You could see, like, Mr. Clean.
He was moving too fast, so the sweat would just fly off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're like, this guy is on something.
Yeah, this guy's got to be on something.
So, I don't remember if we were, like, kind of talking to him, the club talk where you're like, hey!
And he was going the entire time. There was one time where he was standing off to the side by, like, the DJ booth.
Yeah.
And he was talking with someone. And he was, like, just chatting it up with a couple of dudes. And then 5 minutes later, he was back around, flying around the fucking...
I remember we were sitting down because we were, like, getting tired.
I was gonna drop from dehydration.
Yeah. So, but the most interesting characteristic of this person, he stuck his head in the speakers.
He stuck his head in a subwoofer.
Yes.
Not just a subwoofer.
And they were blasted that
shit. They were blasted. He was like, I think he was like...
And he was smiling.
I think he was standing on, like, a bar stool. Or was he, like, by one of the booths, and there was, like, a subwoofer above
He also is, like, 5'3".
Yeah, so he had to have been standing on something, and he was just lifting his head up into the thing, and then just, like, making, like, a face, like, smiling real wide.
And then he put his...
And then putting it back down.
Not only did he put his head in the subwoofer, basically, he put his ear directly on it.
Yeah.
This dude was fucking insane.
Oh, yeah, I was like, this guy he probably can't even hear what he's dancing to right now.
No.
It's like death.
It was a great night.
Dude, it was so funny.
The next time we go to Windsor, we just run into this guy.
We have
if
to
he's
see
not dead.
Oh, no, dude. What's terrible is I thought the same thing. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, this guy has
This guy's on some sort of drug we don't know about.
Like, this guy has an overdose by now. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He was at least 50. He was hitting on
Great 30s hit like a motherfucker, I guess.
Oh my god. Anyways, go to Windsor. Great time. Oh man.
That was fantastic. if he's not dead. Jesus Christ.
It's just true though, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. The crazy shit that we've done that we saw. Oh my god. It was like the crazy shit that we will talk about the guy in Toronto.
Do you remember when we saw the fucking pigeon woman from Home Alone in Toronto? Do you remember that? We were walking by, I think it was City Hall or something like that. We were walking down like in front of Scotiabank Arena or something like that. And I was like, oh my god.
I know
like,
you.
Yeah, I was like, I know you. Like, what the hell?
And then the homeless dude just drowning himself in a puddle.
What?
You remember when the dude was just face down in a puddle?
Oh, yeah. And then we saw an ambulance fly by, but they didn't turn down that street.
Yeah, they just full on was like, all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We go into Lululemon.
Oh,
We're going to talk about it a little bit. But we go into Lululemon and this girl, I'm not talking about the dude yet. This girl was like asking us a whole bunch of things, doing her job.
Right, yeah.
And all of a sudden, I turn around and I see this motherfucker in yoga pants, leggings, a pink sports bra, and he was wearing a beanie, and he had like the ear pods.
He also had a headband over the beanie.
Okay.
He had it was like a pink Lululemon headband.
Okay.
Around the bottom of the beanie.
And he's wearing ear pods, basically AirPods with cords. And he's just dancing. And this is right behind me. I didn't peep it. I didn't know until I turned around. I was like, what the fuck?
And this is also right in the front of the store.
Yeah.
It's like when you walk in, like there was like two entrances, but they both went in like the same store. And you went, and it was like a big area, like in the front, like it had a whole bunch of displays in the front. And
as soon as we saw it, you were like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
No, yeah, I was like, we gotta go. But when you walk in, like so if you would walk through the entrance and turn immediately 180 degrees, there was a big ass mirror in between the two doors.
Yes.
And this dude was flying around in front of the mirror, so practically in the very front of the store.
Dick and balls hanging.
With all...
You could see that
I
shit.
wasn't going to say it, but
You could see that shit through the leggings or yoga pants or whatever.
Did not fit.
No. I go. Then we go into the OVO store and my mood completely changed.
Yeah.
When the British girl walked up to us, she's like, let me know if you need anything.
What the hell kind of accent was that?
A bad one.
Yes. Let me know if you need anything.
Sorry, she's Russian.
Yeah.
But I was like, I almost said it out loud. I was like, please keep talking. She had the only thing I could compare it to, she had the Jason Statham accent, but like the girl version.
Oh, I was going to say she kind of sounded like Emily Blunt.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. The same way that like women are like Jason Statham has a
Jason Statham.
That the hot accent. When that girl spoke.
Pause.
Yes, pause. When that girl spoke, I was like, I love you. I don't know why, but I love you.
There was the one dude in he had an accent. Fuck. Well,
there was a couple French guys behind us. It was like a little French family.
Yeah, there were French people there, but there was the one dude.
No idea what the fuck they were saying, but
no, yeah, they were. They were when we were walking in that mall. I can't remember the Eaton Center. There was this.
I want to go back so bad.
It was really nice. There was this one family. I think it was just a dude and a girl, and they walked past and they were speaking straight up Russian.
Yeah.
But then there was another dude in a different store that we had worked at, or
I
that
know
we
it.
went to,
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
and he had like it was a weird like European accent. I think it might have been like Greek.
There was the. It might have been. I think the people the. I remember the one couple walking by, and they were both like tall, like
Yeah.
super tall. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
they were Swedish.
They had to have been.
They were speaking Swedish.
Yeah, but then there was also the Russian.
Yeah.
They were like because we had walked. I think.
But the tall couple, I'm not joking. That girl must have been like 6'6".
Yeah, no, she was taller than I was.
Yeah.
Because I had noticed them before I had
And the
heard them.
guy was like 6'8".
Yeah, the dude was giant.
I go,
Yeah, Sweden, yeah. Yeah.
I go, I love Finns.
What?
The Finnish people, they're called Finns.
Yeah, but you said they're from Sweden.
Oh well, it's the same area.
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
I think Norway is in between both of them.
They're still
you go-
kind of close.
It goes like Sweden, Norway, Finland, I think.
Still in the general area,
Yes, yeah.
so I'm kind of right, kind of wrong.
Well, yeah.
I don't really fucking care. I just know that she was tall.
Yeah, no,
Was
she
she wearing
giant.
heels? I couldn't. I don't know.
I don't know, probably didn't matter.
Yeah. I like
she
climbing
probably
trees.
She was still tall as shit.
Yeah. What else have we gotten into, dude? We've gotten into a bunch of dumb shit. I haven't talked about all the dumb shit I've done in Iowa.
Well, I mean, your dumb shit in Iowa is like, you might want to wait until the statute of limitations is over.
I'm not in Iowa no more.
Well,
Whoa, nothing terrible.
now, yeah, but there are
All right, let me hit you with this one. I've definitely told you
somebody
this.
finds property damage in Iowa.
No. Illinois, maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So this was my freshman year, the weekend before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So the coaches tell us, hey, we're going to have practice the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I go, I won't be there. I'll be back home. Because
Yeah.
they weren't playing me at that point anyway, so I was like, whatever, I'm going home. I got the plane ticket.
Whatever. Yeah.
So I was going to leave that Wednesday. The boys, I shouldn't even really. They were my roommates, and I'm cool with like 3 of them.
Oh, well,
So I'm like chilling in the room. It's on the weekend. This had to be like a Saturday because they're like, we will have study table on Sunday. You need to be there.
yeah.
I go, okay. So this was a Saturday. Study table was 9 a.m. Sunday morning. My roommates, I think I was chilling in the room with my other roommate or whatever, and they go, get dressed. I go. They're like, get dressed, we're going to a party at Kirkwood. I think it was Kirkwood. Or DMAC. One of the two. DMAC or Kirkwood.
Kirkland,
No. Kirkwood is a...
Darren McCarty,
No.
DMAC.
DMAC is a community college.
Oh, okay.
And Kirkwood is a NAIA school.
Oh, I thought it was a Costco brand.
No. So they're like, hey, do you want to go to this party? I'm like, sure. Why not?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, who's all going? They're like,
Who all gonna be there?
every one of my roommates. And at that point, I had like 7 roommates in a 5-person room.
Jesus Christ.
I go, and they're like, and his name, I'm not going to say his name, but he goes, I'm driving. I go, say less. So, because I was like, I didn't want to bring my car,
Yeah.
So, I'm like, all right, yeah, that's fine. I just had to be home in time for study table because all of them were football players. They all quit. I was the only football
Oh,
player left in that room because
shit.
all of them quit. And they go, yeah. You're fine. So they're like, all right, we got to go to the liquor store. I go, okay.
Like a stout.
Keep in mind, we're all underage.
Yeah.
There was only one 21-year-old in the car, and he had an expired license.
Really?
Yes. And they go, all right, we got to go to the liquor store because they never carded in Iowa anywhere for the most part, unless you were in a college town. Or like a major college town. They go, we pick up 4 fifths, 4 locos for everybody, and shooters, and a handle of something, and we put it all in a backpack. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm in the way back. I like to call it the shaggin' wagon. It was like a Honda Odyssey.
Oh,
You know, like a minivan.
yeah.
Like an old one too. And we all huddle in, and I'm like, where is this place? And they're like, it's about 150 miles away. No, like an hour and a half away. It was damn near almost 150 miles. But
Jesus.
yeah. And they're like, I was like, all right, whatever. So I'm in the back just chilling on my phone or whatever, not really paying attention. And all of a sudden the red and blue pop up.
Oh. Ah, yes.
I go, and the guy that's driving is like, boys, we're getting pulled over. I go, what?
What?
He goes, we're getting pulled over. I was like, what did you do? He's like, I was going 120.
Bro!
I go,
How did you not realize you were going 120 though?
I was on my phone in the back. I didn't even notice.
Oh.
And it was dark out with basically no cars on the road.
See, I can't be on my phone in the car. I'll get motion sickness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we had the bag full of alcohol. And I was 18
Fuck yeah.
at the time.
Fuck yeah.
We get pulled over. Cop comes around to the window. We're all shoveling the alcohol in the bag, trying to be inconspicuous and trying to give it to the 21-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And the cop comes around and he's like, so are we going to talk about that bag?
No.
And we go, officer, the guy in the front seat goes, officer, I know this looks bad, but that bag is for the guy in the back. And the cop goes, give me the bag. I go, I had my license out already because I knew what was going to happen. I thought I was getting arrested that night. I was like, I'm done. I'm going to have to call my dad and be like, I ain't going to make it home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come bail me out of jail.
Yeah, coach, I'm making it to the table.
I would have not have called my coach.
You
I would have called my dad straight up.
know,
Actually, you know what would have happened? His parents would have got us all out. Because his parents lived in Fort Dodge.
so they got...
No.
No?
No. They lived in a crappy house, but they would have bailed us out. They would have helped us. His parents would have helped us. But the cop goes, yeah, let me see what's in that bag. Unzips it all in front of us. And he goes, that's a lot, boys. And he's like, he looked at the 21-year-old and he goes, you're telling me this is all for you? 21-year-old goes, yeah, I have a major problem, sir. The officer goes, give me all your licenses.
Oh.
And he goes, he looks at mine and he goes, Michigan, huh? He's like, what are you doing over here? I'm like, I go to school over here, sir. He's like, you're a long way from fucking home there, bud. I go, yes, sir, I am.
Yep.
And he's like, running us through a system or whatever. He comes back and he goes, obviously you're getting a ticket.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
ticket is the least of his worries.
He's like, you're getting the ticket. Since you guys were cool, I'm going to drop it down by 30 miles, but you're getting the ticket. And,
Oh fuck!
and
30 miles.
he goes, boys, how about we keep it around 80 or so? And
Reasonable.
he's like, there's other cops on this stretch of road where you're going. Because we told him where we're going.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, nice, whatever. He's like, since you guys are being cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. So, here's your ticket, but I dropped it down a lot. He's like, probably keep it about 80 at the fastest or whatever. And we go, yeah, sir. And he's like, oh, by the way, here's your bag.
Oh, wow.
And we go, really? He's like, yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was like, the amount of fucked up I got. That's the only time I blacked out.
Oh, wow.
You know how scary it is to wake up 150 miles away from your college, blacked out in a random girl's bed?
Yeah. I mean, I think the only time that I blacked out was at the...
Phone was dead, too.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it was at the COVID party that our other buddy Ben had.
No, I was at that party.
Yeah. We had, I had a little bit too much, and I sat down on the couch,
No.
and I was like, I was sitting like this.
I remember, yeah.
And I was out, and I woke up, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I remember waking up, like, in his basement, and I was like, what the hell? And it, like, a second later, it clicked, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm at a party. I was asleep for, I guess, like, only, like, a half an hour.
Yeah. So I remember getting there. I remember the guy saying, you have to finish this Four Loko before you get in there. I go, why? They're like, just do it. I finished the Four Loko.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And I remember feeling buzzed. And then I remember having a few more drinks. And then after that, all I know was from Snapchat.
God.
And my roommate was like, yo, you owe me for the bottle of Jack you just decided to drink. I go, I drink a bottle of Jack? He goes, not only did you drink the bottle of Jack, you were giving it to anybody and everybody that wanted a shot. I go,
Oh, my God.
oh no. And luckily it wasn't my car because other guy took, it wasn't the driver's, the guy who was driving. It was his car. He did not take anybody to his car to fuck. Other person that was in that car decided to fuck somebody in his car.
Yeah, that's when I just, like, get into the driver's seat, and I'm like, yo, get out. Like, this is my car. And I go and, like, move it somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, dude.
Why would you leave your fucking car unlocked
I
at a
think
party like that?
I think he said he went up to him and he's like, hey, I forgot something in your car. Can you unlock it for me? Or give me the keys.
Okay, I'll come with you.
That roommate was a terrible guy.
Oh, well. But when I was driving here to, like, today, like, hours ago, I thought it was Raps. I thought I was getting pulled over. Over here. I was driving past the bowling alley.
Oh.
And,
the two that like to sit up there?
Yeah. Over by the one high rise.
Yep.
I was sitting, or there was one that was sitting there.
How fast were you going?
42 in a 30.
It was 35.
35. But I was, like, ahead of the pack of cars. Like, there was, like, no one behind me for, like, another light.
Oh.
And then...
Yeah,
so
that's a little bit rough.
I think I was, like, cycling through my music. So I skipped, like, a few songs, and I look up, and I was, like, paying attention to this side of the road, too. Because I didn't want anyone to, like, fly out in front of me coming off of the side streets. But then I look across, and I see the cop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, fuck. I was like, yeah, that's Raps. And then I pass him. I'm going, like, 38 by then, because I tapped the brakes a little bit. He pulls out.
Oh.
I'm like, fuck. And he goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
And I was like, no shot. I was like, dude, you had me dead to rights. I was like, what the hell?
Do you got the tabs?
The what?
The tabs.
Shh. That's another thing.
Oh!
That's another thing.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, Dude, I was like, I'm fucked. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, thank God.
So Iowa has weird laws. I don't know about the laws in Michigan compared to Iowa, but if you go anywhere like on like it's public, but it's like if you're there after a certain time, like it's a felony because it's trespassing.
Wait, repeat that? What?
So if you're like this is going to give it away. But so we were down by the river, technically trespassing.
In a van?
No,
Oh.
not in a van down by the river.
Yeah.
We were having a fire by the river.
Is it? Are you talking about here?
No,
Or okay.
no, this is in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
We would have it like a bunch of weekends in a row. We would just have fires down by the river. In a van down by the river.
Down on the corner. No?
No.
Oh.
It's Credence.
Yeah.
But so we would have fires, and our dumbasses go, you know what would be a good idea? If you ever been to Fort Dodge, I do want to take you guys one day. The one glaring obvious thing about Fort Dodge is there is a railroad track, but it's like a railroad bridge, and it's like a good 1,000 feet in the air.
Fuck that.
I agree. But hear me out. The boys were like, you know what would be a fun idea if we go on those train tracks? I go,
Yeah, I'll be over here.
that would be a good idea. But I'm not going all the way in the middle because you
No.
got me fucked up
No.
if I'm doing that. I said, I'll go on the train tracks though. And they're like, all right, let's go. So we go, and this is a felony and misdemeanor. Technically. Whatever.
Well, if it's a felony, it can't be a misdemeanor.
Well, I don't know. It was definitely a felony. It's weird. Nobody got hurt. We didn't do anything bad.
Statute of limitations, Ben. This is why I said
It was over
this
2
is
years
exactly
ago.
what I was
It was
talking
actually
about.
over 3 years ago. It'll be fine.
Are you sure?
I'm not going to Iowa anytime soon, and nobody's listening from Iowa, most likely.
Felony means federal, Ben.
The FBI agent won't care.
They'll never catch me.
Never catch me. So, me and the boys were like, all right, let's go. So we get up to the train tracks, and we're walking, everything's good, everything's all right. All of a sudden, we hear a dog.
0.
And we're like, where is that coming from? We didn't realize the train tracks kind of cut over people's houses
Oh.
until we started walking further and further. So all of a sudden we see this guy has a fire, and we're like, oh fuck, we got down. Because he was having a fire in his backyard.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's scary as fuck. But it's his own house or whatever.
Wait, hold on. What was the bridge made out of? Was it wood?
Wood.
Yeah, you can keep that.
Yeah. So we're walking down. We get past that guy. It's like going to Mario Land. That's how it felt.
Okay.
So we're going, and then we hear other dog, and we're like, fuck, is it the same dog or is it a different dog? And we were only like 20 feet up in the air at this point, because it's gradual.
Does the bridge go up or does the land swoop down?
The land swoops down.
Oh, okay.
It's like a valley.
Gotcha.
And like when you're at the middle,
Yeah.
it's just pure water below you. And it's not deep water, but it's water.
Yeah. Well, at 1,000 feet,
You're dead anyway.
It doesn't really matter. Are you sure with 1,000 feet? Because 1,000
Yes.
feet's wild.
It said it online. I don't know how true it is. I didn't go out to the middle, so I don't know. That's what it said online, so who knows?
Damn.
So all of a sudden, like it's above the neighborhood, and all of a sudden we see the sheriff's cop car.
Oh.
And we're like, fuck. And we're like, well, he ain't in the car. And we realize it's his house that we're going right above.
Oh, no.
And he has 2 dogs outside. And they're going absolutely nuts. So we're like trying to hide on this train tracks. And the guy comes out and he's like, what the fuck are you barking at? We're trying not to make noise, but the smallest noise amplifies by 1,000-fold.
The dog goes, look!
Scooby, shut the fuck up! But the cop goes, what's out there? And we're like,
It's a cow farm. You're going to find cows outside.
so we finally get past the cop car, and it's getting tall now.
Yeah.
And I go,
I think then you would have lost me.
you guys have fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Okay. That's exactly what I
So
would have done.
me and my buddy, we call him Grandpa because he was a white DB with no hips.
Oh.
So I was with Grandpa, and me and Grandpa were like, yeah, you can, we'll watch to see if a train comes.
Yeah.
Because
just yell.
Yeah, because the thing is, if the train came, you would have no other option than to book it.
Then just run as fast as you fucking can. Yeah.
You could jog and you'd probably be fine, but you still have to go over.
Oh, no, I'm running as fast as I fucking can.
Well, you would run as fast as you can, but it's not like the train would catch you. Because the train was going slow enough to where it wouldn't catch you.
Oh, yeah, I guess trains do have to slow down when I go over bridges.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's true.
So, you could outrun it, but you're going over.
I wouldn't want to find out.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah.
So me and Grandpa were like, this was kind of a bad idea. Who would have fucking thought? And all of a sudden, the guys yell. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, come out here! I'm like, no!
No!
I'm good right here.
Yeah.
Because it's a 300-foot drop. It was at night, so you could barely really see anything.
Dude, fuck
But I was
that.
like, dude, absolutely not. And then they walk back and they're like, yeah. I was like, what took you guys so long? They're like, well, it was shaking a lot. I go, no fucking shit.
No shit.
And they're like, yeah, so we kind of got a little bit nervous, so we went to the other side because it connected to the other side. And
Right.
I go,
Hence the bridge.
yeah. And I go, then why not just stay there and we could have brought the car around? They're like, well, we thought about that halfway as we were coming back.
What the fuck?
So I'm like, okay. So yeah, there's also was this a racetrack that we thought was abandoned but was not.
Oh.
We were definitely
Was it like a motor speedway?
Yeah.
Or was it? Oh wow. Okay.
we were definitely on camera.
Oh.
And they caught us stealing a sign.
Oh Jesus Christ.
You know how you take traffic cones or something?
Yeah.
We took a drink menu.
Oh.
So yeah, the things that you do in Iowa. My aunt gave me this advice because she worked with a guy from Iowa, and she's like, "This is what the guy from Iowa said." She's like, "He told me the only thing to do in Iowa is drink beer, play football. If you're playing, I was playing football at that time, so they were like, it's drink beer, play football, and get in trouble." It lived up to the fucking name.
Check.
Check, dude. The amount of dumb shit that you could get away with in Iowa, because nobody cares.
No, yeah.
As long as you weren't tweaking out or drunk driving or the pretty normal stuff, they would let you get away with.
Yeah.
For the most part.
So there's the, I think I told you this before. Up north, there's a highway, and this highway, it turns off of where a house is,
Mm-hmm.
and it just goes straight
Oh
for
yeah,
miles.
I know what you're talking about.
And But I'm talking about going more west. Like it goes
Yeah.
straight, just for fucking 20
Ever.
miles. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it finally like curves just a little bit, and I think it curves south or whatever,
Yeah,
or north.
I because was it Oswald's that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know what you're talking about.
But we ended up. Well, there was one year when we were up there, and I was hitting like, I think I was cruising at like 90 down this highway.
Yeah.
I was flying, and that was
Well, it's
that's
all back roads technically.
Yeah, but I mean, it still is a highway though. It's like it's a U.S. highway or a Michigan highway.
Yeah.
But
That reminds me in Iowa I got pulled over by a statey and I was livid because that was the first ever college visit I went on outside of Iowa Central. And I was going it was a back road, so it was 55.
yeah.
I had no idea. I was going 80.
Oh shit.
And the statey's like, bro.
Well, the thing with this highway though, there was no speed limit signs. Like there's no speed limit signs down that highway.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I was flying at like 90 because there were people like passing us when we were going like 75.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And then my mom
Keep
was
up
like,
with the flow of traffic.
yeah, and we had seen cops like go past us and stuff like that. We had seen cops like follow us and then turn off at different roads
Yeah.
and stuff.
No big deal.
And I would slow down a little bit,
But not much.
but yeah, I'd still be going like 80, 82, 85. When we get home, I was telling my mom, I was like, yeah, we went to this one place and we got home in like 45 minutes. Like it took us really quick. I don't know if we took like, if it was just like shorter than I thought. And she was like, where'd we go? And I was like, oh, we went this place. And she was like, well, yeah, it should have taken maybe like a half hour and a half. And I was like, I got home in like 45 minutes. And she was like, how fast were you going? And I was like, I was doing like 85, 90. And she was like, that highway's 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Oh.
and I
Yeah.
was like, well, I'll remember that for next time. So
Proceeds to not remember.
no, I mean, I still hit like between 70 and 75, but that's like keeping up with the flow of traffic. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
I don't know, dude. Back roads are so weird because I will purposely not go the speed limit.
I mean, there are some roads up north where it's like, yeah, like there like the one road that has the song. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say the name of the road. With the song road
So
is
inconspicuous.
so inconspicuous.
We have a Michigan audience. They're going.
They're probably gonna know.
They're probably going to know. If not, if
I
they,
don't know. It is a pretty niche road, and it turns into it's called something else in different spots.
okay,
So, but that I think is around like where it starts to get windy, like in the town.
yeah,
It turns into like I think 30. You
yeah,
still go 45 on that 45, 50 on that bitch.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude. In Iowa, oh, dude, the boys picked me up from Des Moines when I got back. I forget why I was gone, but I flew into Des Moines. I got picked up, and it was Joey and Nick, my buddies, and they were also my roommates at this time. This was second year, I think. Yeah, it had to be second year. I forget whether it was first or second semester. But the boys picked me up, and it was like midnight. Like
Yeah.
I got in late, and they're like, "All right, get in the back, and we're gone." I'm like, "All right, cool." Des Moines. So the Des Moines Airport is about an hour and 45 minutes from our college.
Okay.
So not terrible, But the thing about Iowa is it's straight up pitch black. They have no
Oh, yeah.
street lights.
No, yeah.
It's kind of like up north, just more flat and less dense with trees.
Less tree. Yeah, yeah.
So, but there's a lot more fields and a lot more agriculture. Obviously, it's Iowa.
Well, yeah, and with the less trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can't, you'll see like random lights out there, but you won't see everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you come up to a town with like 50 people.
Oh, yeah.
And the speed limit is supposed to be 30.
Yeah.
You cruise through that bitch at 90.
Right.
because it's also 1 o'clock in the morning and nobody's out,
No,
and
yeah.
it's like literally one stoplight,
Oh, yeah.
and it's blinking red, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and it's the single. It's not even the triple. It's the single blinking red.
No, yeah.
So you're like, and the thing about Iowa, there is a lot of towns where the police force is voluntary.
Oh, yeah.
So, and the fire department. So it's just a different way of living out there. And it, like, if you're not used to it, because I wasn't used to driving, like, through just pitch black, and the Rogue didn't have good headlights whatsoever.
No. It still really doesn't. I remember Jeremy and I were driving at night one time, and I was
Yeah.
like, you couldn't. Because, like, the street that your dad lives off of, there's
Yeah.
not streetlights in some of that area.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, in Iowa, I had the Rogue.
Yeah.
So you could barely see at night, you know.
Right. You turn your brights on?
Even then, the brights weren't really great.
Uh,
So it you know, and also like other people are coming by. I don't want to constantly flick them on and off.
oh, yeah.
Like some people didn't give a shit, but I give a shit sometimes. So I was like, all right, but the I do want to take you guys. I think you guys would have a really good time there.
I think it'd be cool. I remember, you want to wrap it up after this one?
Yeah.
After this story? So I was driving with Josh, and we were driving back from this casino that's in, like, the major city by, like, where my house is. Not, like, in the town, like, the major city.
We went. I was there. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was this recent time, though.
I know, but
Yeah, yeah.
I know the casino you're talking about.
So we had driven, like, we went from, I think we had crossed over the highway at this point. Or no. I think we were just about to. Or we just had, or we had taken, like, a different road that, like, went underneath. I can't remember. But it was just a straight shot.
Yeah.
And by, like, we're close to the houses where the town is, there's a blinking yellow light.
Yeah.
And the blinking yellow light is kind of like on top of a hill.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not a hill, but it's like you go
Slight
upward.
increase in elevation.
Yeah. So we were driving there, and I saw in the distance there was red and blue lights, but they were red, blue, and white. So I first I thought it was just like red and white. And we're like, oh shit, is that an ambulance or something? Then it kind of got clear, or the cop like turned or whatever, pulled over, and we saw that they were red, blue, and white, and we were like, oh shit.
Mhm.
And then we keep driving, and you could tell that it was like on the left side of the road.
Yeah.
So it had to have been someone pulled over, or something, like there was an accident or whatever. We kept on driving for like a solid 10 minutes,
And you could still see it.
and we could still see it the same distance away, and then they turned off, and we were like, what the fuck? So we kept on driving. We were driving for like another like 5 minutes, and we get to the blinking yellow light. They're in the parking lot of the tire shop. That's right there.
Oh.
And we could see that they're cop cars. We saw like the county sheriff on the side, and we're like, we saw them sons of bitches from 15 minutes down the road,
Yeah.
probably 20-25 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Like how in the hell? Because it was just a straight shot.
Yeah.
But it didn't get bigger. It didn't get like smaller until they just completely shut off.
Yeah.
So we're like, they either turned or like were finished pulling someone over or something like that. But we didn't pass anybody,
Yeah.
which was the weird thing. So it was like either that dude turned in somewhere or it was like an accident.
Yeah.
We didn't see it because it was dark outside. But we were like, we saw those lights all the way from
Yeah.
down there, and then saw the cops in the parking lot.
That's so when stuff like that happens when I was like driving late at night in Iowa, I was like, yo, I can imagine back when like there was absolutely nothing here. Like no roads, no
Yeah.
nothing. Back in like the 1800s, let's say.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm scared to death right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, if my car broke down, I'd be fucking shitting bricks.
Well, the difference then was like, if you had a horse, you're going way faster than a horse and carriage would.
Yeah.
Horse and carriage is maybe going 10 miles an hour.
Less, easily.
Right. That's why. Yeah. That's why I said maybe.
Yeah.
Like, you're going like, right, and you have all of your shit in that carriage.
Yeah.
So like, if a wheel does break for you, or like your horse thing, like the horse thing that couples up to the carriage. I don't know what the fuck it's called, but like that, if that breaks or something like that, or if your horses need to stop, you can just straight up pitch a tent and
Yeah.
sleep the night out.
But like when I was driving, I was like, bro, imagine how scary it was like back in the day where they were just hiking on foot, you know?
Yeah.
And there's not really any true like big ass predators. Like there's like
Excuse me.
I'm talking about in Iowa.
Excuse me.
What? There's like coyotes.
Grizzly bears.
Oh shit. In Iowa? No.
Fuck yeah.
Back in the day? Not now. Where?
Bro, I look that shit up.
No.
There are 100% bears in Iowa.
Audio format.
Audio format. There are 1,000%.
Okay. Northeast Iowa.
Still, but I mean, as the area has gotten more populated, they've probably gone up there to avoid people. So back in the day, they were probably a lot more common.
I'm sure
I bet you still see some wandering around every now and then.
I digress.
But I was saying, like, that's, yeah. And wolves? Dude, come on. Wolves?
Okay, wolves, yeah, I would be scared of wolves, but for the most part, like, yeah, dude, Iowa is scary at night if you're, like, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Oh, yeah. I remember there...
She yelling at the cat.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I remember there was one time we were up north. I don't know if I was with my family or not. I think it might have been us, like, a group of friends.
I would be
And,
scared up north if I had nothing.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, like, I was sitting outside.
I love sitting outside.
And,
dude.
we had heard howling.
Oh.
And I was like, that's not coyotes or foxes. Like, this is howling.
You
Like,
know.
you can tell the difference. And it was like, you could tell it was like way off in the distance, but it was like, it was still loud. Like, you could still, like, we were like mid conversation and you heard it.
Though
And we were like, we stopped our conversation. We were like, oh yeah, we heard that.
that moment, as soon as you hear it, you're like,
Yeah.
everybody's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
how it really
Oh, fuck.
feels.
And you could tell they were doing like a roll call. Like, because it was like, you could hear like,
bro.
you could hear like a handful go off in this area. And then from like behind the house across the highway, you could hear like another group of them.
I can only imagine we're up north and we hear that shit. All of a sudden, you hear one just like right next to us.
I saw one up there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There was one time I was going outside. I was a kid. I was maybe like 11 years old, 12 years old. And I went outside. He's like, I forgot my charger in the truck.
Yeah.
So I went outside and I heard like something walking in the forest. And I was like, something's definitely walking in the forest.
You
And I
know.
was like, what the fuck? Yeah, so I got out of the truck and I stopped and I saw like the figure in the outline of like it was like casting a shadow from the light that's on the house.
Yeah.
And you know that they're a lot better now since you put the siding up, but the light on the house was like
Dim
as fuck. Yeah, like we've had to replace the bulb like tons of times. And like it was like dim as shit going out onto the thing, but I could still see what it was. And I looked at it and I was like, that's way too big to be a coyote. I was like, what the fuck?
And then you see the eyes.
No, I saw like it wasn't like looking at me, it was like looking around, and then it like looked at me and stopped and then looked somewhere else. So I was like, what the fuck? Ran as fast as I could into the house.
Oh yeah.
And then I like looked from the fucking mirror or the window and it was gone.
Yeah.
And I was like,
dude,
what the hell?
Every single I honest to God, I hope we get to go up north this year.
I do too. I think you guys will like the way the house looks too with the how we've fixed it.
But every single time we have a fire, I understand. I like sitting with my back to the woods, as weird as it sounds, but I'm also terrified at the same time. That's why you always sit by the house so you could see.
I always sit with either my back to the house or my back to where the sheds are.
Yeah.
So I can see out, because west of our house there's fucking nothing for like 50 miles.
Yeah.
And then there's like there's the DNR outpost.
Yeah,
That's it.
bro.
And then maybe like another 25 miles until you get to the water.
Yeah, it's so funny because I do it on purpose because I like to freak myself out sometimes.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why when you guys were like, yo, because when I get drunk, it's bad to say, but you guys know, I just go off on my own.
Yeah, you were like, let's go walk through. Or I was taking a picture of the sky, the stars
Yeah.
and stuff. You're like, let's go down the trail here to where it's like nothing. Like there's no like campfire light, no house light to where it could like pollute it a little bit more. And I think it was me, you, Adam, and John that walked down the trail.
Yeah.
And we got like maybe 30, 50 yards away from the house, and I couldn't see you standing next to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything.
Yeah. But everybody that I truly hang out with knows that I do side quests.
Yeah.
That's my thing. That's normal. You guys basically told me you should just bring a gun because you go
No,
off.
we do for protection.
Yeah.
Because like there are black bear, there are mountain lion up
Yeah.
there, obviously.
But you're like,
wolves.
you should probably bring your own because you just disappear sometimes.
Yeah.
I happened in the Sioux because
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys were looking for me or not, but I just was like, I need some air. I walked out to the water. I was just walking around Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah. I remember John. I think we just got an ice cream or something. We just come out of the restaurant, and John just took off running down the fucking sidewalk. And we're like, what the hell is he running for? And we were like, John, like what the fuck are you running for? And he was like, the sunset. He was like, I'm taking a picture of the sunset with the bridge. And I was like, oh yeah. So I walked over there, and then John's like, out of breath, he's like, and we're like, dude, like, fuck.
Sorry, giraffe.
He had to sprint. Well, I was like, why the hell is he running?
Yeah. If you, it doesn't. Yeah, it does happen a lot. Like if I get truly like bored, I get bored very easily if I'm at a bar, or if we're like out in that sort of situation, you know, I will end up doing like side quests because I get
Yeah.
bored. So like around here, maybe not as much because I already know what's around here.
Yeah.
But like say if we go back to the mudding trail or whatever. I don't know if you were there, you know, when we had
Oh,
that.
my dad's?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Or like if we're over down by the river or something, my ass will just like after a couple, I just get adventurous. I don't know what it is. It's so bad. Like
Yeah.
like that's the thing, like I almost joke you should put me on a leash just to know where I'm going.
I kind of have like the old man sense of it. Like if we're like drinking, I kind of want to sit in like one spot. And
I get those moments, but I just like I get a couple in and I'm like, I wonder what's around the block.
yeah.
Like that's the thing that happened in Sault Ste. Marie. Like I went down. Honestly, I probably went down to use the bathroom somewhere,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
and I was like, "Wow, that water's really nice," and I'm like, "I wonder what this way." And I did probably like a 3-4 block loop.
Oh.
And I don't know if you guys were looking for me or not because I know. I'll tell you later because it's not really all that important. But like, people were following me, like people that we knew.
Yeah.
And I was like, she was like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, just taking a walk."
Yeah.
And I remember you were pissed because that one night, I don't know why. It wasn't because of me, but you were.
I think I don't know. What,
You were like, "Where the fuck were you?"
Yeah, I was like, no, because I think it was like. I honestly think it was Kiara. Because Kiara kept on being like, "Where's Ben? Where's Ben?
Oh, so,
Where the fuck is Ben? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not his keeper. Like, I don't. He'll find us. I don't know.
oh, I knew I would find you.
Yeah, I was like, I
just-
don't fucking know. I was like, we can call him. We're not in the middle of nowhere.
And that didn't answer.
Well, yeah.
That didn't help, but
No, yeah. I think that's another thing she said. She was like, he's not answering his phone. I was like, okay.
Sorry.
I was like, I don't know.
Dude, I was a wanderer since I was little. We went to a theater, not the Fox, the other one downtown. I think it was like the Fillmore, something like that.
Well, I mean, shit. Like when we were in Toronto,
Oh yeah,
like we just like we were like, oh, let's what's this way, and we just walked that way.
yeah,
And we were like, we went down to like the bars, and we were like, we went down like I think like east down the street. We're like, want to see what's down the other way? We just loop around and
Yeah.
go back to the house.
You know what's crazy is we didn't have to make that big ass loop.
No.
The bridge literally took us.
Yeah.
Where I was talking to my grandma like at the end, and you were talking to your parents or whatever.
Yeah.
If you walked down my way, there was a bridge that took you over to the other side. It would have cut off like 20 minutes of the walk. It doesn't matter.
No, yeah. I mean, sure.
But yeah, well, that makes me feel good that Kiara was like, where the fuck is he at? I
Yeah, 'cause-
wander.
because no one knew where you were, and she was like, I guess she was like starting to freak out. She was like, where the fuck, like where's Ben? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, we'll find him. I was like, we're not in the middle of nowhere. Like we're in basically a city.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be hard to find me. And then you found me, and you're like, where the fuck have you been? I go,
And like,
I walk.
and city blocks up there aren't like city blocks like
No,
downtown.
not anywhere close.
They're like half the length.
Yeah.
If that. So like, 3-4 blocks is maybe like 3-4 residential blocks.
I don't know if Kiara actually said anything to me that night about it. Yeah,
I have no idea.
like when I was little, I went to go see Elmo in concert. I must have been like 3 or 4. Well, my mom and aunt took me to the bathroom, and I guess they went to the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I was probably small enough to where they took me into the ladies' room or whatever.
Mhm.
And I just walked out, not even waiting for them.
Oh.
And they were like, they were like freaking out because I was lost.
Oh. Well, that's a little bit different.
Well, but the thing was, I was just back in the seat.
Oh. Well.
But
Yeah.
they finally found me, and they're like, oh, thank God, oh, thank God. I was like, what? They're like,
Yeah.
what do you mean, what? I go, what? I'm back in the seat. They go, you don't do that.
No,
I
think I did that. I think I did that to my dad too at a Michigan game. Like we both went to the bathroom, and I was like waiting outside the bathroom for him, and I didn't see him, and I was sitting there for like probably a shorter time than I thought it was.
Every 4-year-old brain is like, oh, it's been like 20 minutes.
It's been like 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Or
was like-
less.
yeah. So I just went back to the seats and I sat down, and my aunt, and my uncle were there, and they're like, "Where's your dad?" And I was like, "I think he's still in the bathroom." Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be shitting. I don't know. Didn't say that when I was a kid, but I was
Could
like,
be pooping.
Could be pooping. I don't know. So maybe another like 5 minutes later passes, and my dad comes out of the tunnel, and he's like, where the hell were you? And I was like, I was waiting for you, but you took too long, so I just came back to the seats. And he was like, oh, well, he was like, well, fuck, I didn't know where the hell you went.
Yeah. So, like, that happens a lot for me. Like, that happened a lot when I was a kid. Like, I just disappear. I don't know what it is. I just, like, it's not even if I'm drunk or not. I just like to wander. I just like to see. I have a sense
Yeah.
of adventure, Jonathan.
Yeah. Josh and I went on a little bit of an adventure when we were up north. We were driving back from where were we driving back from? I think we were driving back from the casino. And my dad and my uncle stayed there, and we were driving back. And it was night.
I want to know what it's like to party with your dad and uncle.
Dude, if you see Josh, he'll tell you everything that was going on. He was there were a couple of times where I thought he was going to piss himself.
Laughing?
Yes. Like, he told me, like, 5 times during that trip, he was like, dude, your dad, your uncle are a riot. And I was like, yeah.
We
I was
need,
like,
we
this
need
is
to
my
figure
life.
out a thing where we actually hang out. The only reason why I didn't was because I didn't have enough time at work.
Yeah.
That's the only reason, or else I would have went. All right, yeah, we're going on 2 hours. We should probably stop.
Well, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
The fucking we were driving home and it was nighttime, and we passed by a cemetery. And Josh was like, "You ever explore that cemetery over there?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Why? Why?" And he was like, "Well, because you want to go walk around in there." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And I was driving.
Cemetery's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't think I would do a cemetery, but
and I was driving too, so I was like, "Nah, I'm good." So he was like, "No." He was like, "Are you like?" I'm not trying to poke fun, but like, "Are you scared?" And I was like, "A little. I mean, it's a fucking cemetery."
I don't
at
know
night
if I
in the
could do
middle
a
of nowhere.
cemetery in the middle of nowhere.
No, in pitch black darkness too. I was like, "Yeah, no." So we passed by it again. I think the day afterwards, and it was light. It was maybe 6, 7 o'clock at
Oh,
night.
all right.
So it was still light outside. So he was like, "You want to go stop by now?"
You're not going to get haunted if it's during the day.
No, yeah, you can't. No, yeah.
That's the rule.
Supernatural shit only happens at night. And I've
Exactly.
seen the show.
Yeah,
So,
dude. We all know what happens
yeah.
in the show.
Yeah, right. So we stopped by
Great
that.
show.
We stopped by the cemetery, and we walked around. I told Josh, I was like, if we hear or see anything,
Gone.
I'm out. I was like, I'm out of here so fucking fast. And we didn't see or hear anything, but yeah, I was like, and then there was like the house of the cemetery or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know if it was a funeral home or if it was just like the keeping house or whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, wonder what's in there. I was like, yeah, I can sit here and wonder. I'm not going to find out, though.
See, who knows? I can tell you right now, if we go to the Cab Festival,
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most of us do anyways. Usually when we go to the Cabrini Festival, we have to find each other a few times during the night, just anyway.
Well, yeah. It might happen tonight, depending on what happens tonight, since we're having a fire. But I kind of know everything
Yeah.
around here.
I'll probably stay probably by the fire.
Well, yeah.
Like I said, like if I start having a couple beers, I just like to sit down and like, or just stay in one spot.
You know what I think we should do? Actually, I'll tell you after the pod.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Everybody, thank you for watching. We will see you at some point next week.
Yeah.
I'll be in Grand Rapids next week, so it's